Want to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
Found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me keep on running toes. They gonna take
This is what we got to tell.
I've been fan doing this.
Filtered in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filtered in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. My name is Joe Jordan. Super excited about today's episode. I hope you had a good 4th of July. We are back here on Monday, and we got some good topics for y'all, man. We got to talk about the WNBA. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are breaking records continually as rookies. Some of them breaking records for the whole WNBA. We got to give them their flowers, but also we got to talk about which one is more impressive. Y'all, I know y'all saw this weekend. It's funny because, First Take ain't on today. Get Up not on today. One of my favorite shows, First Thing First. All these shows want to take a break because the Sacramento Kings made a big move over the weekend and bringing in DeMar DeRozan. So I didn't get a chance to hear nobody give us flowers, but it's all good. And lastly, we got to talk about Team USA. Should they be a lock to win the gold medal? But as y'all can see, Davey Dollar's not here. But I got my boy, Mr. Your Done Son Tomo, and I got my boy, Mr. MVP himself of R2L, Tony. How y'all doing, fellas?
Man, I'm doing good. You know, that mini break, a lot's happened in that mini break. A lot has not happened also in that mini break. CD Lamb, but I ain't gonna say too much. But other than that, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Hey, so I am
messing with you already, man.
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I think that a lot, you guys are right, man. A lot has happened in sports, not just there, man. Records broken in the Tour de France and all types of other places, man. It just feels like a record-breaking weekend, boy. A record-breaking week for sports in itself. So I'm ready to go.
Let's get it. All right, y'all, listen. My bad, Tombo. Like I said, Dave not here. It's Monday. We just came back from a holiday weekend. We got to turn up for the one time.
Oh, my bad. We got the MVP on here. I had to do that. I had to do it one time. I'm sorry.
Appreciate it, sir. Appreciate it.
Now we turn up. We got to welcome the MVPs correctly, Joe.
Turn me up.
There we go.
I thought that said like the bean for a second. But it say MVP. I get it. I thought it was like the bean.
Right, see, look, you having too much fun over there.
I don't know over DeRozan though. Ain't like we got. But anyways,
it's promising. That's all.
It is. We gonna get to it. We got a lot to talk about it. Things gonna be ringing. But anyways, we are streaming this on 3 platforms. We are streaming this on X, YouTube, and Facebook. So make sure y'all like the video on all 3 platforms if you can. Share this video with somebody that you know that's a sports fan so they can come and watch live with you. And subscribe and follow on all the platforms. You can be involved in the show by being in the comment section. We can see all the comments y'all will be putting out throughout the show. Once again, shout out to Kevo for being in the first comment today. Take Tony off mute. If you know, you know. It's one of those things. All right, you got to be around the show to get all the little jokes we got here. All right. He also said, look forward to the show, fellas. And shout out to Daniel for being the second comment. Hey, everyone. Happy Monday. But listen, y'all. That's all I got for y'all. Last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. Tomo, go ahead and take over.
I mean, there's a good song out there, if you're cleaning up, some people, they want to clean up to soul. I was about to say soul food. Soul food is good for you sometimes. Not too much. Not too much, though. Not too much. I would say you listen to the good soul music. You got your neo soul. Then you got your, some would say, white soul. And when that crossing over boundaries here, but if you understand where I'm coming from, just hear me out. Should I give up or should I just keep chasing pavements? Because I don't got a good singing voice, so I'm gonna do it in spoken word.
Okay.
But these two young ladies said, should we give up or should we just keep breaking records? Because that's what's going on with these two young ladies. They break in ticket sales records. They break in refuse to lose records when it comes to views. They breaking records on ESPN. You know what I mean? Just nothing but records.
Jersey
Records. I mean, debate records in the barbershop, because I ain't never heard too many people debate about the WNBA at the rate they've been doing it. Now, we got to give them their flowers because of course, both ladies. And if you don't know who I'm talking about by now, I mean, of course, Asia Wilson, she's doing her thing. But we're talking about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark is now the fastest rookie to record a triple-double. I mean, to have consistent triple-doubles. And then Angel Reese, of course, come on, double-doubles, rebounds, points. She's just doing it all over the place. I'm gonna start with you, Tony. How you feeling about this?
So it's impressive from both of them, right? But are we really surprised? Like, I mean, they just carried over from college into the WNBA, and I think the transition from the women's game to the WNBA is a lot easier than the men's, and it shows with how they're playing in the league. I know we're going to talk about who is more impressive. Which one is more impressive? I don't know if we're talking about it right now, but I will say that Angel Reese has had a her thing that she's been doing. She's been on a tear. She's been on the boards. The putbacks have been crazy, and she's been animating out. And you look at you go and look at Caitlin Clark, you will see that she is. I mean, she's just doing the Caitlin thing. She's been the same person over and over again. I mean, if you look at their stats and you look at the stats from college, they kind of mirrored what it was. I mean, what Angel's average, 14 and 12. Caitlin's averaging. I mean, her scoring is down a little bit, but she's averaging 16, 6, and 7. So it's not like they're not doing what they normally do. You know, it's kind of like that thing that Tupac said. It's just the same song, right? It's the same song, bro. Like it's nothing new. And it's impressive how both of them are playing, right? It's impressive how both of them are playing in the league and how they became acclimated in that. They had a real slow start, right? A real slow start. Apparently, Caitlin had Jordan rules. You know, saying she had the Jordan rules, and she learned how to play through it. And then eventually, I mean, Angel had to realize that she had to be the woman on that team, right? I know we're going to come in there and try to get the WWE thing, you know, and she called herself the man and stuff like that on it too. So she had to be the man on that team. You see that Chicago, although they're not winning consistently, you know, they are a different team. So I think both ladies are playing really well. But I'm not really surprised because the transition for me from the women's game to versus the men's game it seems to be a lot easier depending on the caliber of player.
Well, I mean, you might want to take that message you just said, Tony, and send it over to Diana Taurasi, because she told Caitlin it wasn't going to be easy.
Yeah, and I agree, and I disagree with her. You know, although I'm a UConn fan, I disagree with her completely because her transition was pretty easy in there also. Like a lot of these superstar players, you look at Maya Moore and look at her, and you know, look at some of the players. I mean, even who you just mentioned, Miss Wilson. A lot of those players with those type of caliber players transition very easily into the game because it's just that if you really look at it, the WNBA is just a more paid league than the women's college game. But it's the same game, right? It's very much about fundamentals, right? They are a fundamentally sound league versus the men's where it's more about the individual talent versus the team talent in the WNBA. So I think that she was off, and I mean, I have I have a bitter taste in my mouth about the UConn loss to them and everything but she needs to go ahead and spit that out of her mouth and acknowledge that this is a very talented young lady.
Hey man, it's a game of interest, ain't that right, Joe? You can't have a pause moment like that, Joe. So I'm not even gonna respond.
I'm trying to hold it.
So was that my cue to go? Or
Yeah.
on me? Okay. Let's act like that never happened. But
Oh man.
Tom, I got a question for you. Should they keep breaking records if it ends in nowhere? Shout out to Adele, by the way. But if you didn't peep what Tom was doing there, wifey got me up. Angel Reese, she's having a really good year. And Tony, I gotta disagree with you. I'm surprised. I wasn't coming here thinking like, oh yeah, Angel Reese gonna come in here on her first year and break these records. I didn't think that. A lot of people felt like her game wasn't gonna automatically translate to the WNBA because type of player she was in college. Like she showed, showed IQ. She's a DAWG. She's a dog, right? She's a underrated passer, good rebounder, but as far as scoring wise, individually talent, she didn't really show that a lot in college that can like translate to the WNBA. But she is setting records. She's the second leading scorer on her team, averaging 14 points a game. She's averaging almost 5 offensive rebounds a game, 7 defensive rebounds. Like she's doing her thing. She's on pace right now to have the most rebounds in WNBA history, like far as one season. Like if you would have asked me, she would have told me, yeah, she's gonna do that. I'm like, come on, y'all, let's just chill. So I gotta say, I'm surprised that Angel Reese now at this point in the season, am I surprised? No, but when she first started having these trends of, dropping 25 and 15 and stuff like that, like, come on now, I was not expecting that. So she's doing her thing. So I gotta give it to her, man. It's been very impressive. She also has Angel Reese was the fastest player in the league, right, since 1999 to record 250 points, 200 rebounds, and 30 steals. So she's doing her thing. She only needs to average 8.4 rebounds for the rest of the year to break the rebound record, as far as like the most total in the season. So it's very impressive. Shout out to her.
For me, I kind of gotta go with Joe on this one. I mean, I feel where you're coming from, Tony, as far as like, is it surprising? Some people would say no when it comes to Caitlin Clark because of what she did in college, like her shooting a 3. I think that was the record everybody thought that she was going to kill with the 3-pointers, and then also to say that she recorded her first triple-double after we seen the clips of some of the passes where some of her teammates act like they didn't want to catch the ball, or they were acting like the pass was too good, they just had to drop it and then pick it back up. So for her to do that right there was very impressive because, again, she's like putting the ball right in their hand. And they're like, oh, just for me? Not for me. But again, with Angel Reese, I thought it was going to be a little bit more difficult for her because, one, the physicality within the WNBA. Those girls are physical, and she's down bottom. We already seen the game with her and Elisa Thomas where she was like, welcome to the NBA. She gave her a quick elbow, came back down, and then put her down, like basically body slammed her. Said, welcome. And this is what it was. Now, for them to keep doing it, I like the way you ended the song, Joe, because if it leads to nowhere, all the records mean nothing. Because, again, what's LeBron with the longevity stats, right? I'm just saying that's the biggest, greatest debate. They're like, well, he got all these records you keep talking about with all these stats, but where are the wins to come behind it? So at the end of the day, 4 versus 6, it's a very big difference, Joe. And you know that. That's why you always say that about Jordan, right? But again, with these two ladies, I think this is only just the epitome. They setting the epitome of what's more to come. I think Caitlin's going to get better. I think Angel Reese is going to get better. She's going to grow more into her body, of course. This is one of the reasons why I said this was a good move for her to leave LSU to come into the WNBA because, again, they're going to be more challenging for her versus when she's in college. Of course, she's getting more money, but these ladies are going to challenge her to get better. In college, she already knows that she's at the top of the food chain. Same thing with Caitlin. Caitlin was like, I already know I'm at the top of the food. I'm at the top of the food chain. So, again, I got to go where the competition's at. And for her to record that triple-double against one of the best teams in the WNBA, I think that was a comeback game against the Liberty. Says a lot, too. So I mean, those Caitlin rules definitely did help her get tougher, right? So I'm happy for both of them. Actually, hey, keep going, keep shutting up the doubters.
Hey, real quick, I ain't saying nothing about Caitlin. That was big, man. Like her getting that triple double in that moment. Not just one of the best teams. We talking about they had the best record in the WNBA. You know, so the best team, and they stacked. They got. We all know they stacked. They lost in game 5 last year in the WNBA finals, but. And then, like you said, it was a comeback victory. When she recorded that triple double, y'all, it was down by like 8 with like a good 3 minutes left, 4 minutes left. You know, so and you right, Tomo. People make a big deal of her turnovers, which he do have some turnovers. But I mean, if I do some deep dive in analytics and all that stuff, probably have those turnovers because people just know how to catch. like she be putting that thing on the money and then drop. I mean, like, jeez, you know, especially when they play Chicago Sky that game. Oh my gosh. It was so, but impressive, both of them. Impressive.
So real quick, I want to point something out to you guys, right? And here's why I say what I said, and this is my reasoning for saying what I said, right? So here's the deal. Would you not say that the reason why Angel thing is surprising is because the talent around her at LSU was much better than the one she has in Chicago? So she's scoring more because she's playing with a much better team, and this team right here doesn't seem to be the one to score, so she has to do that. But she didn't have to do that. She really was a rebounder and a putback person at LSU. She wasn't a scorer. I agree
with you right there.
She wasn't a scorer though. She really wasn't. Just like you said,
no,
she wasn't. Really
you want the talent around her though.
The talent around her is better. Really good. That year they won. That year they be for real. It was the antics that she had that made her the star that she was. That she was not the man on that team. She was not the man on that team.
You're talking Flaw J, right?
Huh?
You're talking Flaw J, right?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Kennedy Carter? Give me Kennedy Carter. I'm sorry. Give me Kennedy Carter.
But they had a team around her that was much better and was most suited for her talent, where she didn't have to do the things she had to do now. Now she has to do these things because the people around her aren't doing the things that she. And then the reverse for Caitlin is that she doesn't have to do all those things that she did at Iowa, right? And now the beauty of her talent is showing out more now than it did in college because, well, look at the team she had around her at Iowa. Like, they be for real. They got the way they got for one, because of the referees, and then two, because of her. It really wasn't like be for real. It was the NCAA pushing her the way they pushed her and pushing that team the way they pushed her, because there was no real talent on that team. Be real. There was no real talent on that team.
I think both of them are playing in the more talented situation.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's all I'm saying. So when I'm saying, so did anyone expect them to play the way they're playing right now? The answer is no. No one expected, especially Angel. But I would think that the talent was always there. It just wasn't utilized in LSU in the way it's being utilized in Chicago. And that's the reason why it looks the way it looks. That's what she wasn't looked to be a scorer like that. She was looked to go and rebound and she was going to pass and put back and things like that. That's how she was used.
I get you. Let's call it period. Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead, Tom. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No, I was gonna say no. I can agree with him there as far as scoring. Like, she definitely needed more of a scoring output in the WNBA than with LSU.
But I think that the talent was always there for her to do that. I think that she always wanted, and I think she was trying to push to do that. And that's one reason why she got set down a lot, because she kept trying to push and do that when that wasn't the game LSU wanted her to play. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in my theory behind the NFL, because Urban Meyer changed him from one player because remember, you're not going to tell me the guy that owned every passing record in Florida couldn't throw the ball. It's the fact
Tebow?
Is it Tebow? Talking about Tebow. He owned every passing record in Florida in high school. He owned every last one of them. That was the one reason why they went out there. A lot of teams were going after him because of his arm. He had arm talent. But the fact that they made him into a different player when they had the other guy there and they had him as basically a running back, he got so big, he got so big that it changed the dynamic of his style of play. So then when he gets to the NFL, now he is Donovan McNabb when he got to the Washington Redskins versus what he could
Don't
have
do
been.
McNabb that dirty, bro.
Hold on,
Don't
hold
do
on, hold on,
McNabb
hold on.
that dirty.
Hey, hold on,
all right?
hold on.
No. Here's what my theory
I'm
is.
but what I want to say is something. I'm gonna let you finish that, but we
Mhm.
definitely got to talk about which one is more impressive after this, because you kind of like bringing all the conversations together with which
No. Here's what I mean. Donovan McNabb, when he got to the Washington Redskins, couldn't throw the ball short because he was too big. He had gained so much muscle mass that he couldn't extend to
that was
throw the
chunky
ball.
soup.
Right? That was the chunky soup that Donovan McNabb, right? When he but if you look at his body when he was at Philly before he got big, that was one of the reasons why they got rid of him, because he kept gaining all the weight. He could throw the deep ball.
You say he couldn't throw the ball short?
He couldn't. He was shorted all the time. And he would get people hurt. Look,
He was shorted on the deep ball.
I.e. Deshaun Jackson when he got knocked out the doggone game. Okay? Because of how he
he's my Eagles. I'm about to say, Sean wasn't there with us when McNabb was there.
You said
with us with the Eagles.
No. I'm talking about when he was in Philly.
Okay.
Right? So what I'm saying is that sometimes coaches can come in there and take a talent that is a certain way and try to change it into what they think the player should be, instead of letting the player blossom into the
That's
player.
college, though. That's what I said before. That's college.
I agree. That's why
college,
I said
and that's Kellen Moore.
how she is, because I think that they did not come in there and allow her to blossom into the offensive scorer that you're seeing right now. That's
exactly. I got you. Now that kind of closes out what you were saying about this is why it's more impressive, because you didn't
that's why it's more impressive.
Okay, I got you.
I think she always had that talent, because you would see it at times, and then every time you would see it, and she's out the game because they wanted her to play a certain style.
All right, we gotta move on to the next topic.
I was gonna let you close it out, but I mean, technically, this topic we kind of like simmered over into it because we got to talk about which one is more impressive. And I kind of already know what Tony. I think I know what Tony gonna go with this one because of what he just said about Angel Reese. So with that being said, I'm gonna start with you, Joe. Which one do you think is more impressive?
This is gonna sound crazy, you know what I mean? Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark doing a great job, but all right. If I'm looking at it like this, okay, my expectations for this player, then I'm going with Angel Reese. But if I look at what they're doing, I'm going to say Caitlin Clark, because Angel Reese, although she broke the WNBA double streak, we're talking like rebounds is more of a hustle stat than a skill stat, if that makes sense, right? Where you talk about scoring and assists, those are more so skill statistics. And Caitlin Clark, she is or you could say the same about Angel Reese. Both of them are playing as the best players on their team, by the way. All right. But Caitlin Clark also, in like what she did in that triple-double, because that triple-double, see, I'm not looking at that as just a triple-double, because the triple-double was that one game where what Angel Reese was doing was 13 games in a row. So I give her credit for that. But the triple-double, who was it against, the moment, and all that stuff was huge. And on top of that, you look at the entirety of the season, she leads the WNBA in point score when you combine assists and points. Like, she leads a whole she's responsible. Let me say that. She's responsible for the most points of any individual player in the WNBA. That is impressive. That is so impressive. So I would say that I'm more impressive of what Caitlin is doing, but I am highly impressed of what Angel is doing. Just the fact that my expectations for Angel when she came to WNBA.
I'm sorry, Joe. You already know I was gonna go. I'm going with Angel.
Yeah,
I mean, again, when it comes to offense, we already knew who was the better player on offense of the two because of what Tony just said. We expected Caitlin to do semi-great things because, of course, she had to go through her learning curves. But again, a shooter is gonna shoot. Once they find their spot, they can get hot and things can just go their way. Again, some of the passes, and when you talking about the passes and going into a deep analytical, I don't think you really got to go that far. You could just call Mark. I think he got the video on deck for you. Talking about where their teammates don't want to catch the passes. But when it comes to Angel, what was one of the things that I said on air? I was like, look, she has to get a little bit more physical because, again, you can't play that bully ball when you go to the WNBA because these women are going to bully you back. And she had to learn that. One, her low post game. I know Vaughn and them probably going to kill me for this one, but I said she needs to work on that. She got to put a few more touches on it because, again, her game was grab the rebound, bully you, and go back up. Now it has to be a little bit more finesse because, again, you got to be smarter than some of these older players because they vets and almost seen everything. So for her to go out there almost, well, we can say every night now because she done broke the record and get a double-double. I know a lot of people in the barbershops want to say she grabbing her own rebounds, but, again, it takes a lot for you to even grab your own rebound. You play 33. If you go down bottom with some hungry wolves and you try to go back up for it, somebody's going to get the ball. So in order for her to go down there and get it herself, it happens that way. So I got to say her breaking this record and potentially setting another record is more impressive. Tony?
So I agree. I kind of agree with Joe, right? Kind of agree with Joe, right? And so Caitlin is impressive to me because she's played through what I call the Jordan rules, or the Caitlin rules, right? And have made her own rules up as it's gone on, right? She's coming and she's adjusted to what's going on. But by far, Angel is probably the more impressive one. And it takes a lot for you to understand what it is and what is needed for you to play in this league and and what type of player you're going to be. You know what I'm saying? I think that very early, more than I thought, she's learned the type of player that she is. She has turned into, right? And it's the same thing that a great player that most people didn't think that was going to turn out to be the way they did, even though he was drafted pretty well, out of Auburn. Most people didn't think that this guy was going to be the type of player that he ended up being, right? But I would go on and say that she's learned how to be the Charles Barkley of the WNBA. She's learned how to come in there and she's like, look, I'm going to put the ball up, and if I miss, I'm going to go get it, and I'm going to put it back up again. If I miss it, I'm going to go get it again, and I'm going to put it back up again. You know what I'm saying? And that's the mentality that she has right now. Like, you know what? It's the Jordan in Chicago thing. Remember how Jordan used to come in there and just score and score and score, right? And he looked good, but the rest of the team didn't. That's her. It's amazing because guess what city she's in?
Chicago.
Hold on. What? You said, okay. Hold on. Explain that comparison to me.
So you remember when Jordan?
Yeah, I can understand with Jordan, but equate that to Angel Reese, though.
So this is what I mean. She's in that point now where she's like, I'm going to look good even if you guys don't.
Who is not looking good?
That's her. No, they are, and I think okay. And I think they jumped on board. But remember, when
Kenny Carter. Yeah, people gotta realize. I know I keep bringing Kenny Carter. Kenny Carter is kind of like resurrecting her career. Like her career was going to a down spiral with all these incidents, and had nothing to do with her on court stuff. All the off court stuff, fighting, getting mad at her coach, fighting at the daggone in front of the ice cream truck, all that stuff. But since she's been with Angel Reese matches that energy she got, and it's like Kenny Carter is truly showing everybody how much of a bucket she is.
But isn't that because of
like the Jordan
player that you just named? It's because of what Angel Reese has started. This team really changed when her mindset was like, I'm going to go do this right here, and you guys need to follow, and you need to follow, and the team has followed. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that she's even the best player on the team. I don't think she is, right? But she's becoming the best player on that team. Right. And people, the mark of the leader.
Might be. So go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I said.
One of the leaders.
But here's my thing. The mark of a leader, right? The mark of a leader is for your actions to dictate how your team follow you. And that team, her actions have made her the leader of that team because they're following her lead. They're following her energy, her aggressiveness, all those things they're doing. That is an aggressive team. And by next year, they may do something, make a little bit of noise this year, but I guarantee you by next year, they're going to be a team to reckon with because of her energy. Because she's not going to change. She's going to be that player the whole time because she only knows how to play one way. She knows that be more style of playing, and that's the only way she knows she's going to be doing it. So I really do think that the more impressive one is probably Angel, but right on her coattail is Caitlin.
And I'm coming to tears because she could have been a Mystic, man. It just boggles me so much, man. It just boggles me so much, man. I just knew it, man. She would have been the game changer that DC needed. You know, John Wall ain't here no more.
For real, man.
Could have been out John Wall, but you know we got
in DC too.
Yeah, don't worry about it because we're gonna get that number one pick. They give us that number one pick. They give Caitlin that number one pick. We're gonna have a lot of issues. Oh my goodness, bro! Can I have a moment, guys? They never let me have my moment.
They both said it.
Yeah, never let me have my moment. Sheesh. Anyway, since I can't have my moment, you know, we're gonna give Joe his moment. We all can't be living the dream or living the beam, as I should say. You done did a surprise episode and everything, Joe. I ain't expect too much out of this, man. Going into the all season, you even said you like Kings. We got to do something, man. The West is getting tougher, and they heard you. I guess they watched the show, or one of the fans dropped it off to the GM. Didn't you meet the GM at the next game?
Yes, I did. You know, I'm gonna put a picture of next episode. Yeah, I got, me and Monty cool.
Yeah, it sounded like y'all are because you must have heard those cries or the cowbells from all the way from where you at. Because you definitely said,
"Hey, updates for every step of the way."
He did though. He did.
Me and Monty like this.
Now Monty didn't do you like B. Johnson did from the Lions and send you no text message and say, "Nah, bro, we good." He actually went through with the deal. He went and got DeMar DeRozan. He said, "Hey, DeMar, you gonna be in that Kendrick Lamar video?" Because he said, "We glad you came home." Because y'all didn't need him neither. And that's what happened. He in Sacramento now. He back on the West Coast. The Kings have secured the 6-time All-Star DeMar DeRozan in a 3-team trade. Some would say it was a 6-team trade. I can't go into the details of whatever happened there. But Harrison Barnes is now with the Spurs. Chris Darday, I'll show you the link. Chris Darday is now with the Bulls, and they got 2 second-round picks. Hey, Big O, there's more room in the neighborhood, man. The HOA is accepting all offers. You know what I mean? And the Kings get DeMar DeRozan. So, Joe, with this happening, and now Fox may sign back, we got to ask, where do the Kings rank in the West? Show's yours.
Last time I did this, the sound didn't show up. Hold on. Make sure I hear it. All right. The last time I did that, the sound, it just went out. Like, I don't know what happened.
It did the right thing.
Shout out to Sacramento Kings, man. Finally. The biggest free agency move in probably Kings history. That's how crazy it is. That's why Kings fans are so there you go. That's why Kings fans are so excited because this is literally the biggest free agent signing in Kings history. Now we always talking about a 35-year-old guy who not known for shooting threes. When all we want to do is shoot threes. All right, we the West Coast Celtics. We want to jack up 53s a game. But I think that the Kings with this move, it makes them 5th to 7th best in the West. I'm gonna say 5th to 6th best. All right. Here are the teams I would say that are better than the Kings right now. Or if I didn't have a dog in the fight, I would pick this team over the Kings. Let me say that. Number 1, obviously the Nuggets. You got the Nuggets. You got OKC. You got Minnesota. You got Dallas, the defending Western Conference champions. I mean, come on, this team beat us 6 times last year. The Pelicans. The Pelicans went and got DeJounte Murray. They kept Brandon Ingram. They got the same team. Only thing they lost was Valanciunas and Najee Marshall. But they went and got DeJounte Murray. So, and we haven't done nothing to address the issues we have with them, which is these dudes are long wingspan, scrappy, and they just bigger than the Kings, and we still a small team. All right, so I would say we can be better than them. I feel like in the regular season we can have a higher seed than them, but I'm talking about as far as like caliber of team. Like I would say the Pelicans are better. You know, now when it comes to matching up with other teams, I feel like we are better than the Pelicans. Like you put us against the Lakers, we are better than the Pelicans. You put us against Dallas, we're better than the Pelicans. Pelicans are good against us. because we don't match up well with them. So, what how does this help us? A lot of ways. I mean, I gotta mention a few things, Tomo. I'm gonna be quick. I'm not gonna be long. All right, with it, one along with it. But look, one of the issues with the Kings last year, I'm gonna address one thing. That's it. One thing. Clutch. The Kings were third worst last year in 10-point leads blown. Last word, like third worst. I could ram off a bunch of games top of my head that we gave up when we were up the whole game. I could name a bunch of games. OKC twice. All right. The daggone New York Knicks, daggone Detroit Pistons.
That's the one I was gonna say.
Silence on that L. But anyways, y'all saw my video in the chat with the Pistons too? I thought it was funny. But but Chicago, they were second best, only behind OKC in 10-point comebacks. And they were also first in fourth quarter comebacks. It's because of DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan in the last 3 years has been a top clutch player. He was second last year, Steph Curry won. He was second the year before that, De'Aaron Fox won. And if they had a clutch award 3 years ago, he would have won that. He got the most field goal makes, right, in the clutch in the last decade. So he addresses the issue that if Malik Monk were to go down, if when Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk got hurt, bro, the scoring was hard to find. DeRozan's that guy who can score. He don't need nobody else. And then normally, it's another point. I put this on Twitter too, y'all. Normally, teams will put their top defender that's 6'7", 6'8", like a small forward, on De'Aaron Fox because there's nobody else on the team who can get their own bucket. But now with DeRozan on here, now their top defenders got a key on Fox and DeRozan. And if you put the DeRozan's guy on Fox and you want to put Fox or Keon guy on DeRozan, that's mismatching the post all day. So I just like the move because it addresses a huge need that we needed. And he shot the most threes he shot per game in the last 6 years last year. De'Aaron Fox was shooting the same amount of threes a game. And last year, he put that thing up a bunch and shot 40% from three. So who's to say DeRozan wants to shoot more threes also?
Name the teams one more time before you go, Tony. You said that.
Minnesota, OKC, Denver, Dallas, and Pelicans. Pelicans iffy. But I would say 5 or 6.
All right, you can go ahead, Tony.
I disagree with them being behind the Pelicans. I do think they're better than so. With DeRozan there, it also brings a little bit of a toughness there too, right? That you guys sort of lacked last year. He brings that dog in there in there also that helps you guys out a whole lot too. And you guys do like to shoot a lot, right? And he brings that slashing person there that's going to be there also. So I think he brings another element to that team that no one's really looking at. Like they're looking at his age, but he can still ball, right? He can still ball. Now, barring injuries for that team, I would say they're probably 4th in the West right now. Mm-hmm. I think they're 4th in the West right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Jordan 35 too. My bad.
Only behind the Nuggets, of course, OKC. Yeah. So the Nuggets, OKC, Minnesota, and maybe Dallas, right? Maybe Dallas. I don't know, right? And the only reason I say maybe Dallas because I don't really like anything that they're doing in off season. So maybe Dallas. I mean, I think they're okay. They're doing something, but it doesn't address what they need. You know what I'm saying? None of the things they're really doing it really addresses a lot of stuff. Huh? What do they need?
Dallas.
What they need? Dallas.
Well, Dallas for the most part, they need people that can actually catch the doggone ball. Because
can you say the Mavericks? Can you say the Mavericks? Because at that point, somebody would have been like, "Well, CD dropped the ball a lot too." So we got to make sure we talking about the basketball team. I just want to make sure.
No. So I think the Clay thing was good, right? And he adds that defensive portion of it to them, something like that. But I don't know how they're going to use him in that, in in a sense that's going to help them with a lot. So he's going to be able to come off screens and shoot like he did beforehand. I don't think that's going to change. But who's going to be the slasher is going? He's not that guy. Clay's not that guy. Though. Yes, they do. They do need that. They need someone. They need someone that's
it's not about Mavericks. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? They need someone who's going to play off him, right? I like what y'all have to do. I'm not so sure about what we're going to talk about next, but I like what they're doing with the Rose. I really do like that, and I will probably put them at 4th, maybe a soft. I may put them about 4th or soft 5th right there. But I think them and Dallas are like this right now. So I don't know if I would agree that those teams are better than you guys. I think that the problem with you guys were injuries, one, right? The fact that you are small, right? But I think you play small ball anyway, and I think you guys do it well, right? So I don't think that really is a deficiency when you guys play small ball. The problem is that you guys let the Pelicans dictate y'all to play a certain way. And that's what really hurt you guys against a lot of teams when you got in trouble with that. So I think you guys can be fine in the West playing that way, but I don't think that I think that DeRozan adds that other element in there where also your boy doesn't have to have the ball in his hand the whole time, right? Fox doesn't need to have the ball in his hand the whole time. So and he can play off. They can play off each other, interchange a lot more. Kind of what they did in Golden State. So yeah, I like it. I will probably put you guys 5th, 4th, right there. Probably not the 5, 6 that you're talking about right now.
Yeah, I think going off of what you were saying with the Pelicans, that's last year. You finally got somebody that's going to come in and add on top of what Malik Monk will give you off the bench. So this is another veteran player who's going to come in with a seasoned vet. Let's put it like that, because you got to think about all the times you went up against LeBron in Toronto, where he had to learn from those L's. And then you got to think about what he did in Chicago, where he helped turn that team, help turn the tide a little bit on that team as far as with the trajectory in which they were going. 5th? I mean, I'm with you, Tony. I think they top 4. I think y'all better than the Pelicans, Joe. Honestly, because right now they dealing with a whole situation with Brandon Ingram and figuring out if they want to keep him or not. Yes, he did go get DeJounte Murray, but again, is Zion going to be healthy? Is he? That's a question. Again, if Zion isn't dead, can DeJounte Murray give him just enough to get over the hump? Now, depending upon what they get back for BI, we can discuss that. Also, there's other moves that you all are continuing to make too. You all are trying to get who? You're still trying to get Kuzma. So that's another scoring veteran either off the bench or starting for you. I don't know where y'all want to put Kuzma at, but again, those are buckets whenever he feel like getting buckets, because that's one thing Kuzma can do when he turn it on. That might help you as well. I'm gonna still keep you at 4. I'm not gonna say it's gonna jump you up, because again, I'm now with Tony about the Dallas thing. I think y'all tied with Dallas at 4th, because again, adding Clay gives them a little bit more. The only downfall with Dallas is Jason Kidd and Luka. What are they going to do? Is he going to continue to dribble the ball out and just give it to somebody with 2 seconds left and then make them shoot an uncontested 3 or maybe a contested 3? We got to figure out the offense there. But again, with the other 2 teams, what the Nuggets are. Again, the Nuggets may take a little slip, because again, they're not doing anything to make their team better. They're losing pieces as well. So again, there's a lot of hope for what the Kings are doing, because one moves normally come in 3s. So once you get one good move, there's possibly 2 more coming down the road. And if not, you at least got 1 more that's on the phone. And hopefully y'all give up the 2 first for it, so that I can make some things happen for both sides. But again, I think y'all are in the top 5. The Clippers are still there. Of course, you got the Lakers, Phoenix. I mean, these are teams that you can make that face about. But again, you never know what's going to happen after July. You know what I mean?
Talking about Zion, is Kawhi going to be healthy?
That's the player. He might not even play the season. PG gone. This might be James Harden team at this point.
Yeah.
Man, look, I do want to say this. I feel like the Kings could beat anybody in the West in the 7-game series. Anybody. I'm talking about including OKC, including Minnesota, including Denver. Yes. Was that a sound effect or that was somebody?
Nah, it's the ball. She sneaks.
No, I missed it. But yeah, I do feel that way. If we get Kuzma, and then look, people keep saying, "Oh, DeRozan's not a good defender." Woo, woo. He don't help y'all defensively. Do y'all know 2 years ago the Bulls were the 5th best defense in the NBA with Vucevic as his center? So, and Zach LaVine is a shooting guard. Zach LaVine not a defender either. So it can happen. And we were the 4th best defense at post All-Star break, by the way. So when Keon Ellis took over as a starter. So
see, Kuzma, so the Kuzma thing, like I don't have a problem. So the only problem I have with the Kuzma trade for you guys is that he needs the ball in his hand more and to create. He has to create his own shot for the most part, and that takes away some of the things that the Kings like to do. Right. And that's the only thing that I and you know, everybody knows he doesn't play defense. You know, everybody knows, like, the scouting report on that guy is pretty simple, right? It's pretty simple about the guy, right? He can be explosive, he's a pretty fast guy, you know, he can create his own shot, you know what I'm saying? He has good instincts when he's rebounding, he's very inconsistent as 3-point shot, but he does make people come in there and playing with it with a 3-point shot, right? He makes people have to respect the fact that he can do it. You know, and then, but the whole thing is that he can be a better player on a team and use his length a lot better than what he does and like that. And he doesn't really put much effort in the defense. Everybody knows that that's the scouting report on Kyle Kuzma. You guys don't even have to sit there and try to figure it out. I just gave it to you. That's him as a player, right? But that's the only thing about him that I would say. I think that nucleus that you guys have and that style of plays you guys have, I'm not sure it fits his style of play. And that's the only.
But I know we got more the last topic, Tomo, but I do want to say this. Has Kuzma ever been in a situation when he's allowed to play all ball and move around? Like with the Lakers,
I was about to say that.
Like he was they trying to do to a catch and shoot dude because you playing with LeBron James. That's what I'm saying. Like we can't look at them because we haven't seen him. He's the type of player that I can see him being a really good all ball player, but he never been in that situation, you know. And he has height and defensively, he's not sorry. I'm not gonna say he just as he willing. He playing with the Wizards, bro. Like, I'm sorry.
No. He's just
sorry, Tom. But like,
first of all, what I was gonna say was a little bit of what Tony's scouting report is true, but the difference between Kuzma with the Lakers and Kuzma on the Wizards is one, he feel like the Wizards is his team, so he can get up as many shots as he wants to. But another thing that I learned that I've seen from Kuzma is he's willing to adjust based upon the system that he's in. So I think if he goes out to Sacramento with Mike Brown and they sit him down and be like, hey, this is the role that we want for you. Let's say he does come off the bench and you got Malik Monk and Kyle Kuzma. Now, them two might go back and forth about who's going to put up the most shots. But again, that's your second unit. You don't really have to worry about it too much. I think he may be able to adjust at this point in his career.
He's definitely going to start. Okay. That's first of all, he's definitely going to be in a starting five, right? He's definitely will be in a starting five. There's no way they wouldn't put him in a starting five. But
I mean, you give up two first, yeah, you got to start.
It will be Fox, DeRozan, Keegan, Kuzma, and
so
I know
it's a very good starting five, right? The only thing about it, like I said, the only thing that helps him out is the fact that you got Sabonis or Sabonis there with him. He'll make up for the lack of defense that he plays, right? And he'll be able to help out. They can play off each other defensive wise as long as he doesn't play lazy. The problem is
he can't play lazy with us. Hey, go to the Haslam. That's what's going to happen.
I'm saying, I get what you're saying, Joe, but he gets lazy. He has those moments in there where it's almost like he's lost in the game. He's kind of like you remember when they had the Space Jam thing and they had Sean Bradley looking around trying to figure out what was going on. And we're like, and remember, it's like he constantly sees the old Pamela Anderson in there in the bathing suit on Baywatch, and he's watching it in the stands, and he's like, "Oh, that's right, I'm playing basketball." Like this guy loses himself in the game a lot, right? But then he comes in and be like on offense and be like, "Oh, I'm Kyle Kuzma. Now let me play offense." You know what I'm saying? His length alone, it's kind of like Durant. You know what I'm saying? Durant's length allows him. He's a horrible defensive player. Okay, let's just
you know what?
He's a horrible defensive player, but he uses length.
Tony, we're gonna do this. we're gonna let you stay on Durant and his bad defense and see how bad he gonna play with Team USA. Because of course, I mean on defense. We're not talking about offense, all right? We're talking about defense. Because again, we gotta say it before we close it out. Is this team, of course, the men's team, USA over in France, are they a lock to win the gold? And I wanna preference one thing before I bring this title up. It's because they're playing in Paris. Okay? It's only because they're playing in Paris. The Team USA.
Chill out.
I just want y'all. That's the only reason.
I think somebody don't know.
Yeah, I don't got time for it in the comments. Talking about now the day goes by. I just gotta preference it because they're playing in Paris. And are they a lock?
I think somebody don't know.
Nah. Once I wrote the title, I said, this is gonna start something. And Tony, I'm gonna let you finish because you started with the Kevin Durant and the bad defense. So are they a lock to win the gold?
No. Right. And because it's going to depend on a lot of things, man. Are they a lock? No. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to have to come together as a team to be able to do so. And I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out a lot with this team. And let's just say this. Do I think they can do it? Yes, I think they can do it. Right. But it's going to depend on a lot of things for that team. Who the heck is going to rebound? Right. Like who, like they got a lot of issues with that team. I don't know, man. I see a lot of deficiencies and I do see the other teams that are out there that can very much compete with them and push them. Right now, it's going to depend on how much they are pushed in the leading up until the medal rounds. How much they're pushed. So, are they a lock? The answer is no. Will they do it? The answer is most likely they will do it. I think eventually they'll bring it together. They'll get it together, and someone in there, like the guy that Carl's talking about, is not trying to lose because he can't win in the NBA. So he may decide that this is his only chance to win a medal, win a championship. So that's what I think is going to happen with this team. But I want to see them the first few games and see how they're going to play. If they come out really strong in the first few games, then they're going to probably blow everyone out. They're going to run everyone out the gym. But it's going to depend on how they're coached, first of all, and how they gel as a team. So, but that's my take on it.
They got some good coaches, man. They got the all-stars of coaches. Spo, Lou, Kerr.
No, they do. They do. They do.
Where's Doc at? What happened to Doc?
They do. But what I'm saying, they do, right? They do have a great nucleus of coaches, right? But unlike the women's team, right, who has played together for such a long time, they took 4 years to put that team together. They just basically came out there and played horse and to trying to pick the men's team. They were like, all right, let's see whoever gets to the E. Whoever comes get the E the fast, that's going to be the team, right? That's how they basically pick the men's team now. It's not really a 4-year thing where they played together. The women's going to pretty much kill it, right? Everyone knows that because they've been playing together so long. They're probably going to kill it. But this team right here is really a team that's just put together, right? And that's.
Can I go first?
No, I was going to say you can go ahead. I knew Dave was going to show up when you said something about rebounding, though.
Speaking of rebounding, Embiid, Anthony Davis, Bam, LeBron James, Jason Tatum, and we talking about guards, Jrue Holiday and Steph. They are all good rebounders. So here's the thing. I'm not worried about chemistry with this team because they got a bunch of veterans together, bunch of winners together. We talking about all these guys have won for real, except for Embiid. But sorry, it's Jimbo. AD won, LeBron won, Bam's pay at the high stage, Tatum's won. Jrue Holiday's won. Like all Steph won. All these guys won except for the young, like Anthony Edwards and Tyrese Halliburton and Devin Booker. but Devin Booker play at a high level. So like Kevin Durant's ones. These are a bunch of veterans who know the game, they getting practice time right now. They're doing some exhibition with the Team USA for the young, like with Keegan Murray and all them guys. So I'm not worried about chemistry. I'm not worried about talent, rebounding, scoring. Two things you got to worry about with this team, obviously, is number one, ego. All right, because it's so many superstars, somebody is not going to play. That and ego, who going to take the last shot, and health, because a lot of these dudes old. Now, there is a team out there, because they not a lock. Let's not get this twisted. This team is not a lock. Don't forget the last 2018 to 2018, right? Well, Kobe, LeBron, Carmelo, Deron Williams, Dwayne Wade, they barely beat Spain in the gold medal game. If we talking about a team that had Paul Gasol, Rudy Fernandez, Ricky Rubio when he was a teenager. I mean, come on now. Y'all see Canada? First of all, Canada put out USA last year. Let's talk about that. They put them out last year.
That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
You can't lose to Canada, man. We can't lose to Canada.
Oh, is that happening, Drake?
They better not.
So look, Canada, let me tell you what they got. I'm going to name the NBA players. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. We just saw him in the playoffs. RJ Barrett, Dylan Brooks, Lou Dort, Zach Edey, SGA, Kelly Olynyk, Dwight Powell. They got chemistry. These guys play. They all, and Jamal Murray. My bad. Jamal Murray too is playing. Everybody I just named played last year except for Jamal Murray. So they got chemistry already too. And they got a scorer. They got a guy who can outscore and score with the best of anybody on that other side USA team, SGA. SGA will go to work on them boys. So, and last but not least, who the head coach?
Oh my God.
Who the head coach? My man Jordy Fernandez, assistant coach from the Kings the last 2 years. Now he's the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Shout out to Jordy Fernandez. But bro, like they looking sweet. They lost to Germany in the final last year, but they are not a lock.
That's all I'm gonna say. Look, they not a lock because again, you got Canada, you got France. When you start talking about rebound, I first thought about Wemby. I said that's gonna be one of the toughest games because of Wemby. But again, I know we clown this guy a lot because again, we have our troll sessions. And I think one of the key pieces to this Team USA is the oldest person in the room. And he is known for bringing super teams together, even in the midst of turmoil. So I think he can get some of these people on board. I think the one person with the biggest ego right now, and I don't know how much went into that clip, where Aunt Edwards said, I'm the first option. They got to go through me. Again, it's not ego, but I mean, his confidence is through the roof, again, after what just happened to him. So I think that's the one person they may have to rein in, but that also may have to be the one person they have to lean on. Because again, you're going to need that dog mentality when you're going up against some of these teams. It's a tweet out there right now. They say you ever want to see a C+ player go crazy? Watch the Olympics. And there's a lot of C+ players in the NBA that when it's time to play for their country, they're going to go get 40. And it's happened a lot. So you're going to need Devin Booker to show up. Again, Drew Holiday is there because he's known for making big plays when a team needed. You got Tatum coming off of just winning the ring, so we don't know if he's still in the clouds. But again, are they going to be ready? We're going to find out after 2 games. Are they a lock? I'm with y'all and saying no because, again, the competition has gotten better. Again, I told y'all who won the draft. France has won the draft. So their country is just getting better in basketball because, again, 9 times out in the last 3 first 2 picks have come from France or top 10 picks. So, again, you got to look at that. We can't lose to Canada. That's all I'm going to say. We ain't have all that not like us on repeat for us to lose to Canada. They better not.
And see, that's what I'm saying, man. Like when I say rebounding, we know they can rebound, right? We know the U.S. is going to be able to rebound, right? But what I'm saying is like, who are we going, like, when I look at that team, it's just what Joe was talking about, the ego portion of it. That's what I'm talking about. Who's going to be the guy that's going to say, this is going to be my role on here? If you look at a lot of
might start. Sorry, go ahead.
So that's something. Who's going to be? I think they're going to mix that starting lineup up until they get their real starting 5. But I think so. Can they rein in the egos and stuff like that, right? And I'm not mad at what Anthony Edwards said, right? I'm not mad at what he said. Like, but my thing is that is he going to have that? Is he going to have that Mamba mentality? Because that's how he's talking. Like he's going to have that Mamba mentality. Remember what y'all remember that Kobe said he running right through Powell. Is he going to have that mentality? He has it, but will he have that mentality? And will
against
they follow?
Rudy, right? He did against Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is like they're not a lot. They can win it. They can win it easily, right? They got more than enough talent on that team to win it easily. But being a lot, nah, man. I don't see them being a lot. I think there were some other players that were left off this team that could have been there, right? And it could have given them that foundation. You know what I'm saying? Now what they're going to have to pull on is two players. KD and LeBron. They're going to have to pull on them for their for experience of being in that in there. They have that experience for them in both ways, right? They know that sour taste. You know what I'm saying? They know that sour taste. So they're gonna have to pull on. You know what I'm saying? So they know what it's like to have to revive a team. You know what I'm saying? So will they follow those two guys? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I don't know if they're going to be a lot, because there's a lot of egos on that team. Is Devin Booker going to try to pull up shots like he did in Phoenix all day long? You know what I'm saying? Is he going to do that?
See, look, we're gonna finish this over in the chats, but I was about to say something about Chris Paul, and that might stir up a whole nother debate. But y'all let us know how y'all feel about this team in the comments, and we're gonna get to these last words and get on up out of here. Start us off, Cowbell.
I'm rooting for you, Jordy, but I'm a U.S. citizen, so. But I do want to see them against Canada. I want to see Wemby do good too. But anyways, shout out to the whole network. Shout out to everybody in the R2 family. Shout out to Tony for being on. Shout out to Dave. I know you're not here. Shout out to Tomo. And the Kings, man, we made a big move. I need first thing first. I need get up. I need undisputed. I actually watched y'all for the first time in quite a while. All y'all talked about was LeBron James. Nothing changed. I need y'all to backtrack and talk about this trade when y'all come back. All right? Because I was looking forward to watching all y'all today. And that's they know they got a daggone tennis match on. I don't think it's tennis. They got tennis matches on. Like, come on now. I'm trying to watch first thing first. So once again, shout out to the whole network. Like the bean.
Tony.
Yeah, man, great show, guys. It's always great to be on with you guys. R2L is always going to be a great thing. It's going to get better and better. Or as somebody I know say, gooder and gooder. It's just going to be a great show. I really do want to see a U.S. team go out and dominate. I need another dream team situation. I want to see them go and dominate. I agree with you. We cannot lose to Canada. But that's it. Hey, shout out to my brother who's not here. Wish you were on the show, so I could argue with you again. I love arguing with you. But anyway, thank you again, fellas.
Hey, man, one thing y'all gonna do is find a way to debate about something. I was definitely watching BWT. Man. But shout out to everybody on the network. Shout out to everybody that's been in the comments. And shout out to CD Lamb's agent, again, for just throwing out that idea of saying, hey, if y'all don't pay me at least an average of 32, I'm going to demand a trade. And shout out to Cole Beasley for getting the Cowboy Nation stirred up again. I mean, if there's one thing the Cowboys going to find a way to do is stay in the media. But there's one player in San Francisco that I got to think, because Brandon Ayuk is always going to find a way to just drop some news. He ain't going nowhere, Joe. But it's just funny that he keep dropping commander videos every chance he get. I like his negotiation tactics, man. I love it. The players are finally fighting back. That's all I got for y'all.
All right, y'all. That's all we have for y'all today. We'll see y'all next episode.
Peace.
World champions of what? Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe, and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all the next episode.